HOA Karen confronted me over my Rolls-Royce, didn't know I paid for her HOA Clubhouse. The sun dipped low over Willow Creek, painting the manicured lawns and sprawling mansions in hues of amber. I leaned against my Rolls-Royce, its sleek black curves glinting under the fading light, when HOA Karen stormed toward me. Her name wasn't really Karen, but the neighborhood had dubbed her that for her relentless crusade against anything she deemed out of place. Today I was her target. "You think you're some hotshot with this car?" she spat, her voice sharp enough to slice through the evening calm. "This is a respectable community, not your personal showroom." Her arms flailed, gesturing wildly at my Rolls-Royce, parked legally on the street outside my own home. Neighbors peeked from their windows, drawn to the spectacle like moths to a flame. I crossed my arms, forcing a smile. "Hoa, it's just a car. I'm not breaking any rules." My voice was steady, but inside, my patience was fraying. I'd dealt with her complaints before about my lawn being too wild, my mailbox too modern, but this felt personal. "Don't play innocent," she snapped, stepping closer, her eyes narrowing. "You're flaunting wealth while the rest of us pay to keep this neighborhood pristine. That car doesn't belong here." Her words dripped with venom, and a small crowd began to gather, their murmurs fueling her tirade. I could feel the weight of their stares, judging, waiting for my response. I took a deep breath, trying to keep my cool. "Hoa, I've lived here for years. I pay my dues, same as you." What I didn't say, what I wasn't ready to reveal, was that I'd paid for far more than she knew. The clubhouse she loved to brag about, the one she chaired like a queen, I'd anonymously donated the funds to build it after the old one burned down. She had no idea. Her face twisted into a sneer. "Dues? You think that's enough? People like you think money buys respect." She turned to the crowd, playing to her audience. "This is why our community's falling apart, outsiders like him." The word stung, though I'd been here longer than most of them. I was about to fire back when a new voice cut through the tension. "Enough, HOA." It was Mrs. Delaney, the elderly widow from down the street, hobbling forward with her cane. Her frail frame belied the fire in her eyes. "You don't know half of what you're talking about." The crowd fell silent, surprised by her intervention. Mrs. Delaney rarely left her house, let alone inserted herself into drama. I raised an eyebrow, curious. HOA spun toward her, incredulous. "Stay out of this, Margaret. This doesn't concern you." "Oh, it does," Mrs. Delaney said, her voice trembling but firm. "You're out here accusing this man of ruining the neighborhood, but you don't know the truth." She pointed her cane at the clubhouse, its glass facade glowing in the twilight. "He's the one who paid for that clubhouse you love so much. Every brick, every window, his money, not yours." The crowd gasped. HOA froze, her mouth agape, as if the ground had shifted beneath her. I felt a pang of unease. I'd never wanted the donation to be public. It wasn't about glory. It was about giving back to a community I loved, despite people like HOA. That's not true," HOA stammered, her confidence crumbling. She looked at me, searching for a denial, but I said nothing. The truth hung heavy in the air. Mrs. Delaney pressed on, her voice rising. "You've been harassing him for years, HOA, and he's never said a word. He's paid for more than that clubhouse, playgrounds, streetlights, even your precious holiday parties. And you repay him with this." She gestured at the scene, her eyes blazing with righteous anger. The crowd's murmurs turned against HOA now, their whispers sharp with disapproval. Her face flushed red, not with anger but with shame. She opened her mouth to speak, but no words came. For the first time, HOA Karen was speechless. I should have felt vindicated, but the victory was hollow. I looked at HOA, her shoulders slumping, her bravado gone. She wasn't just a caricature. She was a person, flawed and human, like me. Maybe she'd lashed out because she felt powerless, clinging to control in a world that felt chaotic. I didn't hate her, but I couldn't forgive her either, not yet. "I didn't want it to come to this," I said quietly, breaking the silence. "I just wanted to live here, same as you." I turned to the crowd. "But if we're going to tear each other apart over cars and clubhouses, what kind of community are we?" HOA looked at me, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. Without a word, she turned and walked away, her footsteps echoing in the quiet. The crowd dispersed, leaving me alone by my car, the Rolls-Royce now feeling more like a burden than a prize. Mrs. Delaney lingered, her gaze soft but piercing. You didn't have to stay quiet all this time, she said. Why didn't you tell them? I shrugged, staring at the clubhouse in the distance. Didn't seem worth it. I thought it'd speak for itself. But now I wasn't so sure. The truth had come out, but it hadn't healed the rift, it had only deepened it. As the last light faded, I got into my car and drove away, the weight of the evening settling in my chest. HOA's reckoning wasn't just hers. It was ours. We'd all played a part in this drama, whether we admitted it or not. What do you think? Where does the line fall between standing up for what's right and letting pride fuel a community's divide?